The harbor. That day was exceptionally warm and sunny as for the winter season. It was then that the aunt Bardo decided to go for a walk along the water shore to release the unnecessary energy from the places she had recently visited. Besides, the water had been calling her for some time because being near it was bringing back her peace, joy, and tranquility. What's more, looking at the water made Bardo see much clearer. As far as she could remember, her seeing had been somewhat blurry. So, if the water had such a healing effect on her sight, the best option seemed to be a large body of water that would allow her to see better and more transparent. And that's exactly what it was, as it later turned out, close to the house of a lion she met during this journey. For Bardo, their coincided encounter marked the beginning of something much more better than before. Not only better vision. After all, who knows if coincidence is a matter of luck or is luck a matter of coincidence? And a friend's conversation began like this. Do those beautiful feathers help you swim well? Asked the curious lion. Feathers are meant for flying, not for swimming. Besides, I can't swim, or rather, I'm very afraid of it, replied the ant confidently. So when you tried, you failed? I told you feathers are not for swimming, responded the ant, unsure of what she was saying. And what if you tried to immerse yourself in the water? Look there! He pointed to the seagulls. They have wings with feathers, yet they can swim. Maybe we can try together. I've been swimming for a long time. I'll be very happy to help. You ready? And since the ant had been missing spontaneity and wild adventures for a long time, trusting herself and what came her way, she nodded slightly with a smile. Moments later, they jumped together into the deep water. Indeed, Bardo's feathers were somehow different. At first, the ant swam with fear, but in this new world, she was moving with an incredible lightness she had never experienced before, even while flying. Watching the lion's movements, she was also certain he was the best guide in the water, and being close to him, the fear of swimming with feathers gradually disappeared. Gently entwined by the soothing water, they soon reached the first underwater land. A large sign made of seaweed formed its name. Algae Heaven. A wonderful place surrounded by dense forests of light algae, creating labyrinths full of treasures. Bardo, look at all these tidbits to eat. Which one would you like to try? Asked the ant's friend. I barely know any of them, and I can't try everything either, so maybe I will go with that one, she replied, enchanted by the sight, pointing with her finger to a transparent jellyfish. Who said you have to choose? Try everything, just not all at once. You might get a stomachache. The lion chuckled. Mmm, delicious, exclaimed the ant, full of marine crystal jelly. The world of algae is so nourishing, she added. And after filling her belly to the brim, she said, now I know what to eat to maintain my resourcefulness. I want to stay here longer, please. Come on, there's still so much to discover. I will take you to the Coral Hills, said Leah. It's hidden on an underwater island, situated among tall, exotic reefs full of mysteries, caves and crossings. The ant looked at the lion with uncertainty, but he drifted ahead before she could protest. She probably sensed that the second underwater land, though incredibly colorful and magnificent, was quite difficult to explore. What if friends had to face toxic plants secreted by some underwater corals, knowing that its touch could recall a familiar pain? Besides that, they encountered camouflaged eels that wanted to attack in defense of their territory, strong sea currents that tried to carry them to unknown regions, and rebellious predatory creatures stubbornly seeking trouble. However, the most challenging for Bardo was the poor visibility. The murky water and sudden changes in lighting made the ant totally freeze, which got her lost and out of her body. And once again, the lion came to the rescue. He firmly pushed the ant onto one of the hills known for its healing resources. The dark and uncertain place plunged the ant into panic, but it was there that she experienced a complete restoration of her sight, which from then on changed her perception of the entire underwater world. Thanks to this, she was no longer afraid, because even in closed water corridors, by opening her eyes wide, she saw as perfect as she never had before. As they swam out of the cave, the ant asked Leah, "Why did you take me there, knowing it wouldn't be easy to stay?" "Bardo, the question isn't whether it's easy, but whether it's worth it," he replied. And they both drifted towards the third realm. Sandy Lagoon was located on vast underwater deserts where shimmering suns formed golden dunes, and the water there was so clear it resembled diamonds. The ant had never seen anything like it, even in her most imaginary dreams. Exploring this world turned out to be fascinating also because of the lion's wonderful friends she met, who had inhabited this magical place for over 7 years. They showed them this world from a completely different perspective, which an ordinary traveler could not experience. A world of opulence, the highest dunes, the most transparent crystals, the widest water paths, the fastest streams, and many, many others. As they were leaving this amazing realm, the lion said to the ant, So many creatures choose the life they know from childhood, accepting it as the best option. Yet they claim they would like to be somewhere else in different centuries or ages, remaining unaware that everything is given to them now, so close, literally within a few hours from the shore. All it takes is to make a decision. After this short but most surprising journey for the ant, they swam towards the fourth realm, Shell Canyon. Built from ravines and crevices of underwater cliffs, where the walls were covered with shimmering pearls, it seemed in its splendor unmatched by other underwater lands. "Nothing could be further from the truth," said Leo to Bardo. "Don't be deceived by the canyon's charm. Narrow and winding passages make it easy to get lost. You can stay close to me, but it's your trust in yourself that will make you confident in your next step. The crumbling shells can block the entrances to the caves, completely cutting off our way back. Remember to control the time. Sometimes, for important matters, it might be too late. The sharp edges of some shells can cut you in such a way that it will be difficult to sew up a wound. So please, Bardo, avoid their proximity." The ant closed her eyes, as she was no longer afraid to do so in most cases, quickly grabbed the lion's hand, and with a safe current, they emerged from this land only to soon find themselves in the last one, the Emerald Oasis, the green heart of the underwater world, covered with colorful sea meadows and clearings full of nature's abundance. Its mere presence fed the ant with peace, security, certainty, and support throughout the swimming process which she had so feared before meeting her friend. Bardo wanted to stay there longer, explore, be, and learn, but Leo pulled her by the arm to swim towards the shore. And when they finally got there, it seemed completely different to her. Though Leo knew well that the world hadn't changed. It was the ant herself who did that, due to recent experiences. For Bardo, this world was now pleasant, cheerful, giving, and safe. It pointed her direction for further immersions, although the ant herself was not yet aware of how much it was going to happen. "Come on," she said to Leo. "Now I will show you my world on wings." But Leo shuddered his head and replied, "Flying in the air is well known to me. Fly alone. Now you know that wings don't hinder you from exploring not only the underwater world, but any other as well. I'm sure you will do just fine. Besides, I'm always here. For flying, you will find another guide, and I will go my way." Saddened and disappointed, the ant turned to her friend. "Leo, does this also mean we won't swim together anymore?" "No, not at all," replied the lion. "Of course we will. Swimming will just take on a different form. It's all within us now, and it will never ever change. He smiled and started walking his own way. Watching the receding lion, Bardo put her hands careless under her wings. In her tiny fingers, she felt the shells that had been magically collected in the underwater world. Amazing, she said to herself. How did it happen? She began to carefully pour them out, and in one of them, she found an eternal compass.